This is the URT. We are the URT. You are the URT. Welcome to the URT. Big up people and welcome to United Real Therapy. We're here, we're live and direct from South Central Manny. What have it? Let's be having you. This is the preview for the Manchester United versus Spurs Europa League final preview. Welcome. We're going to be waffling on about Amarim's presser, players' presser. We're going to be previewing the game, of course, and then we're going to talk about how the media and certain United fans have deemed this the most important game in the club's history. The waffle is waffling, people, but it is what it is. It's not the most important game in Manchester United history. Win or lose, it's going to paper over the cracks. Even if we win, we paper over the cracks. If we lose, it tells what this season's been. So, welcome, people. Let's see who's in here. Follow. Because United are owned by Glazers. United are owned by Glazers. And we're full of a shitbag fan base. We're the biggest shitbags across all the different fan base. Follow. Because we're shitbags. Because we don't ever want to fight for our club. That's what we are. This is who the fuck we are, people. This is the football club. And in 3 and 4 months' time, ain't nothing changing anytime, any quickly. So we are where we are. We are. It's Europa. It's Europa League, mate. It's Europa. They won the UEFA Cup of Spurs. Yeah. How is it? It's not. You've seen better. Go and get if we lose. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going through this. How is it not? You've seen the banner. The banter we'll get. Yeah, well, it's what it is. This club. Listen. Let me just say something now. Nobody is ever gonna banter me more than the Glazers and Ineos banter us. There ain't nobody ever coming close to bantering us, other than the Glazers, other than Ineos. They're the ultimate banter. They banter us, play against us every year, every week, every month. Big up to the women's team. Obviously fought hard on Saturday. Unfortunately lost. Was it Sunday? Was it Sunday or Saturday? Unfortunately, they lost to Chelsea. Chelsea have been the best football team in this country for a while right now. But they gave it. But where was Jim the Rat? Because Jim the Rat watched the men's on a Friday. And where was he? For the women's final on Sunday. Nowhere to be seen. Glazer was there, but Jim the Rat was not there. Nora, what do you want to be added to? Do you see with Trebs? Yeah. I didn't understand the message. You might have to send me a voice message. I didn't understand it. Yeah. No bootlickers. Stay away from the bootlickers. Watching the press conference, I'm starting to feel more confident. There seems to be a lot of tension with the Spurs camp. I've not watched the Spurs camp. I've not watched any of the Spurs stuff. It is what it is, people. Win or lose or draw. It is what it is. And there's no draw in it. It's win or lose. And there's only 2 results tomorrow night. And I'm not getting my knickers in a twist thinking about this and that. It's Europa League. It's not the Champions League. It's not the FA Cup final. It's not. I've never celebrated a Europa League win. I've never been too down about losing the Europa League win. I don't. It's what it is. If it was another team who was in Europe, no problem. But against Spurs, can't take that. Yeah, it is what it is, people. It is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, they've beaten us. They've beaten us 3 times this season. We've not beaten them since 2022. We don't win this match, the live support machine will be turned off and the grave will start being dug. Yeah, big up Sachinda. Big up, people. Big up. Big up. I don't know if this is Saeed or I don't know who this is, but yeah. And Nuruddin, are you not hyped for it? Are you hyped for it? No, I'm not hyped. No, I'll never be hyped for a Europa League bullshit. I'm sorry, I can't fake it. I can never fake it. I'm never hyped for a Europa League final. Never. I don't get hyped about anything like that, people. Genuinely, I'm never getting hyped for anything in that sense. It is what it is. It's Europa League. Yeah, big up to everybody though. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We are 130 away from the 13k. 130 away, so let's smash the likes, people. 130 away from 13k, and the channel deserves that. Spurs tactically, smash the like, people. Did any of you watch the presser? Did any of you watch the presser? Any of you guys watch the presser? How were you doing? If we don't win, we'll get to the third choice players. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Why is Manchester United in the debt that is? Why is it down to this game? I just don't get it. I just don't get you guys. You accept everything the club says. Why are you accepting that bullshit? Why are we accepting that shit? Why are we accepting this money, that money? Why? Who caused it? Did it just happen thin air? Who's caused it? Clubs in billion. I just seen a thing now. £1 billion in debt. 300 million in outstanding. Majority of clubs, by the way, other than maybe Paris Saint-Germain and Man City, majority of the football clubs own a couple of million anyway. But for me, it's the other debt. It's a 700-something million debt that's been there almost 20 years. That's the debt people should be talking about. Yeah, big up Andrew Ellis, man. Big up. Yes, Andrew, not seen you for a while. Big up to you. Big up the people, then big up the gang. I support United and Madrid have done for years. I don't be starting the fake fan club in the chat. I support United and Madrid. Oh. Big up. That's if Luan is about. Luan is about.
Hey,
What's going on?
good afternoon. Not much.
Afternoon in
How
New
you doing?
Jersey. I'm good. How are you?
Good afternoon, man.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm on the 90 between Boston and Albany. I was in Maine this morning, so I left Maine this morning, went to New Hampshire, and now I'm on my way back to New York. So,
Damn, man. What have you got? Are you empty? Or are you carrying? Are you empty? Or are you carrying stuff?
I have 2 loads in the car going to 2 separate locations in New York. So it's summertime. I guess people are placing special orders. So I have I have some fiber from an electrical company, and then I have some deck for a property owner who's trying to put some deck for his boat. Either way, as long as they get me paid, I'm happy to bring the freight to the destination.
Yeah, big up. Ineos, big up to Shakira. Ineos genuinely believe with full pre-season squad reshuffle, Ruben Amorim will have the tools to bring success back to Manchester. Ineos believe in shit. I don't give a damn about what Ineos believe. Fuck Ineos. Or fuck anybody else who fucking supports Ineos. Ineos is the reason why Manchester United is in this position. Big up to you.
How are you doing, Nuruddin?
I'm all right. You know what? I'm not being well, you know. I don't know what's been happening, guys. Past couple of months, my health has not been that great. But we're battling on.
Curious question. How old are you?
I am in my early 40s.
Oh, you're young, Nuruddin. Come on. You're still very young. It's not like us. We are in mid 40s and our bodies start breaking down.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Hmm.
Um, big up, Sean. Sean, are you there?
I'm
Hopefully
here.
he'll join us.
You guys
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you
Big
guys
up.
are suffering from Manchester United induced stress.
I don't know.
Um,
I honestly, I
Big
wish
up,
it
Sean.
was.
big up on it,
Not
big up
this
guys.
season. You know, the seasons when we're winning things or when we're doing bits. That is, um, that's what I thought. But you know what? It's not that. It's not because this season's been crap. So I've accepted it. I wish it was it was Manchester United because I'll go and get a therapist and and feel better physically. Uh, Listen, I don't big up to Shakarian, but honestly, Jim the Rat can waffle all he wants. Big up to Tactical Devils. Please make sure you go and check that channel out. They did a show last night. Make sure you subscribe to that channel, like that channel, and make sure you get it up to 1,000 so they can monetize. Big up Jarvis. Do get here when you can. Yeah, it is what it is. Big up Sunshine. What go on? Sending love. Sean, are you back in there? Are you back in California? Yeah, or are you still traveling?
Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm back
Sean's
in
back
time
with a
to
bang. Yeah.
watch the game final tomorrow. Yeah, if we want to get right into it, I think I think this is honestly like this is like I know that we're not going to get any credit for being humble as United fans, right? There's no credit out there for humility. But at the same time, there's no confidence. Like for me personally, I have absolutely no confidence. I don't know what to expect from this United team. Everything to me points to a Spurs victory. If I'm being completely honest with you guys here, everything points to a Spurs victory, and I just don't know if we can stand or we can cope with the backlash that would come if we lose on Wednesday. But yeah, let's get into the preview. I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah. Big up the people, man. Big up Sunshine. Make sure you check her out on TikTok. Big up. Andrew said scammering is a fraud. Andrew said, I'm flying to Hong Kong for a holiday, Mr. Structure, on the same day as Liverpool parade on the 26th of May. Perfect timing. It is perfect timing, man. Have an amazing holiday. Big up to all you lot. Please smash a like. Let's get to 80 likes ASAP. I hate Ineos with passion and Glazers. Yeah, we do here, man. We always do. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'll ask you, Luwani, first the question. Luwani, this BS
Yes.
about the Manchester United, this game is the most important game in Manchester United history. Do you buy any of this bullshit?
Of course not. Everything is geared out for the PR, and we know that's exactly how they're going to sell it. What else do you want them to do? Given the way the season went, it's a disastrous season, and the only way they can salvage it is just by by putting everything on this game, this last game that we have. So apparently, if we win it now, the season can be seen as a successful season. I don't know what they're trying to do there, but there is BS. It's
I
all
mean,
BS.
okay,
I don't
Luani,
buy. I don't buy that.
Nurudin is not being generous enough, right? So let's steelman the claim, right? So we'll start with the question: do you think the result of Wednesday matters at all? Do you think it matters at all? Whether it matters small or big, does it matter to you? And in what way does it matter?
It absolutely does not matter. It does not, because look, if we were a team that is consistent now, we're a team like Arsenal, we're a team like even City that is consistently challenging for top four every year. In the grand scheme of things, winning another trophy will be an achievement, consider an achievement, given the fact that we're there in and about every year. But we are we are 16. Okay, we haven't challenged for anything major in the league in a while. And then getting a trophy, an additional trophy on top of what we already have with Ten Hag. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really paint the bigger picture when it comes to this club. It's just paper over the cracks. So
So, so the question is, what role does this trophy on Wednesday play in the bigger picture, right? And if you were to ask me, I mean, I would agree that it's hyperbole to say it's the most important game in our history. It definitely is not. But I think we are at a kind of crossroads in United history. It is a pivotal time in our history, where we could either be a club that is punching above our weight in the Champions League, trying to get back to our old glory, or we could be cemented as a relegation level club in England. And I would rather be the former. I would rather be in the Champions League and have the conversation be, do United deserve to be here? How long would it take them to get back to where we know they should be? Rather than the conversation being, this United team is a relegation side, and how low on the table are they going to finish next year? So if you don't think it matters, then I guess the question is like, what are we even doing here, right? So are you saying that like a victory on Wednesday, even if it doesn't define the season, it doesn't paper over the cracks. But don't you see any value in one, lifting a trophy, secondly, securing Champions League position next season, whether that has to do with attracting better players or the money that would get from it? So, like to you, is there no value at all in winning on Wednesday?
nope, no value at all. First of all, lifting a trophy. We have lifted trophy under the past what 2, 3 manager that we have. We lift trophy under Eric Ten Hag, under Mourinho, under Ole. So there's no value for me. The second, to respond to the question is that being in the Champions League,
Not
the
under
Champions
Ollie,
League
it
is
was
an
Jose. Under Jose. Ten Hag,
Jose.
Jose.
So
And Van Gaal.
three managers: Ten Hag, Jose, and Wenger. So that's 3 managers. So it's nothing new, right? But being in the Champions League, the Champions League is an elite competition. Okay, if you're going into it, if you don't want to be embarrassed, you have to be prepared. You have to be able to compete. What's the point of going into the Champions League if we can compete? The only way I will see value in going into the Champions League next year via the small door that we're trying to use right now is when, if Ineos is ready to actually spend money and revolutionize this team, spend a whole lot of money. But even that might not be enough, because this season we all agree that it's a write-off season for Amorim. So that means that next season is going to be essentially the first phase of his rebuild. Now, do you want a team that finished 16, okay, and that's going into next year, into the first year of rebuild of a manager with a whole bunch of players that are given to him to be in the Champions League getting embarrassed? No.
I
So
don't, I don't, I don't take being embarrassed in the Champions League as a given. But if the question is whether I would like to play Champions League next year, for me the answer is an unequivocal yes. Like first of all, I am operating from the perspective that I don't think the players are as bad as they look currently. Secondly, I'm a firm believer in what people call a wolf, what Nigerians call a wolf. I don't need to deserve something necessarily to enjoy it. If I find myself in the Champions League listening to the Champions League anthem every Tuesday and Wednesday night, I will feel good about it, right? I don't need this to be an empirical situation where we're getting only what we deserve. I think it's very reasonable for us to want to reap where we did not sow, and I'm fine with that. So for me, this match on Wednesday, I think it doesn't define the season, but I think it's very important for setting the foundation for where we want to next season going forward. So I would very much like to win, and I think it matters what the result is ultimately. I'm curious to hear when you're ready to pause on this. Big up, Jarvis, also.
Yeah,
big up
big up
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up Jarvis. Long time. Welcome. Hope you're well. The family.
Good. I'm good. Thank you.
For me, the way the British media are tapping this, and some United fans, and the way Gary Neville is talking about this game, it's like this is the defining. It can define the next decade, and I'm like, stop effing waffling. No, it can't. We won the FA Cup last year. We won the League Cup the year before. We won this Europa League before. We won the FA Cup before that. What the F are we talking about? Like, no, it does not define us. It will not define us. One game cannot define who Manchester United are. And the people who are like, but the finances. Why are Manchester United in financial trouble? Who do you think things just happen? Or do you think it's caused by people? It's mismanagement, it's misconduct. So for me, it's not win, lose tomorrow. I know what the reality is. The reality. Manchester United will finish 16th or 17th in the Premier League. We've already had how many defeats? Is it 20 or 18? Is it 20 or 18?
18.
Yeah, we lost the
18. Yeah, so 18. So for me, and the league is always your bread and butter. I won't give a damn about anything. The league shows where you are as a football club.
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
The league form shows you where you are as a football club. So that to me is the most important thing.
In your view, what do you think vibes, quote unquote, vibes or feeling or sentiment has any role to play in a team's performance, right? So do you think it matters what the feeling in the dressing room, right, is like, what the feeling in the team is like going into next season? Do you think it matters at all? How much does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all, because if I had my way, every one of those dickheads will be gone. If I had my way, every one of them. I think I might keep maybe 3 or 4, right? And that's it. Everybody else will be fucking gone. Because for me, they will go down in history as one of the worst Manchester United teams in the history of Manchester United. They are now part of 3 or 4 teams in the history of Manchester United who have been the worst. And I believe they're the worst in my lifetime. This is the worst Manchester United team I have ever seen in my lifetime. They will go down as that. So for me, any redemption or anything like that, there's no redemption. There isn't. The redemption was there 10 games ago, 15 games ago. That was the redemption. Not one game in the final tomorrow. That doesn't do anything for me.
I want us to avoid
win or lose. And this idea that this idea that this game is so vital because of the money and the Champions League. Are you taking the fucking piss? Do you think we're gonna be good? We're gonna finish bottom in that fucking bullshit league as well, the way the form has been carrying on. Because I don't see anything fundamentally changing. Glazers own the football club. Ineos are in control of the football club, and they are gonna do what they're going to do regardless. So this idea that but we're gonna have this type of transfer or that type, it's bullshit. I don't buy any of that. These are the people who cause the mismanagement. There's a reason why we're in the position where we're in now. So explain to me, unless they're removed, explain to me how is there gonna something different is gonna happen magically.
No, yes. So we don't have to rehash like our long-standing arguments, right? I just want to frame the question for Jarvis in a different way, because I take your point, Nira, that like from a perspective, nothing is going to change, right? But I want us to avoid using the statements from Gary Neville as a benchmark or the general media narrative as a benchmark.
Manchester United fans, and it's not just Gary Neville, majority of United fans.
So the majority of United fans,
and that's why I'm saying, am I missing something here? Am I genuinely missing
there are 4 United? There are 4 United fans on the panel, right? That I think are representative. So the question, for Jarvis is, to you, Jarvis, does it matter at all what the result on Wednesday is? Because I think we heard from Luani and Nuruddin that to them it doesn't matter. To me, it matters, right? So I'm curious, does it matter at all? How much does it matter to you?
Yeah, obviously I want to win every game and I want to win trophies. That's just the way it is. We will celebrate if we win on Wednesday and we will be happy. We will enjoy ourselves. The question I think we are asking ourselves, is it like a the game of the decade in a way? We heard people.
No, Jarvis. Let's not use any of those superlatives. Let's not use any superlative. Does it matter to you at all, right? Because game of the decade, I think, is a bit of a stretch. It's a straw man. So does it matter? Is there any implication for next season, whether or not we win or lose today? Because I would venture and volunteer and answer that yes, I think it's going to impact our summer. It's going to impact the vibe in the dressing room. It's going to impact how we go into next season, how we finish the season. So we forget about the game of the decade or greatest game in our history. Does it matter at all for the future?
That's how it's been framed. So we can't get away from that, Sean. I'm sorry to say. That's what people. Jarvis is answering it in the context of that. Do I want Manchester United to win every game they play? Yes. Tomorrow's no different. I want Manchester United to win. But the idea that this is the game of the decade, this is the most in recent history, this is the biggest game in our history, it's all bullshit because we won trophies before. Go ahead, Jarvis. Answer and then
but it's the most important game we have played in a long, long time. You know, we have had a season of
last season.
Games.
Since last season in the FA Cup final.
Okay.
It's bigger to win the Europa League and qualify for Champions League than it is to win the FA Cup. Basically, because I think it's bigger. I know you can argue that the FA Cup has more heritage. That's one of the
FA Cup is the greatest cup competition in world football. It's the greatest.
It gives you a Europa League.
Okay, Jarvis.
And the thing is, hold on. When it comes to winning the Europa League, it gives us qualification for next year's Champions League, and that's super important at the moment. And I heard, for example, you said Lavani, you said it doesn't matter because we can't win it. And on that point, I would say I feel that it's important. Mourinho mentioned football heritage, and it gives us a little bit more heritage, a little bit more experience for us to be able to win it in the future. So every year we play in the Champions League, I think we can improve. I don't think we will go there and lose to every team by big numbers. I think we can actually compete. I think Amorim is a good manager when it comes to European football and how he set up his team, the 3-4-3. I think it suits the continental way of playing football in a better. And so for me, I would definitely celebrate, and I hope that we'll win it.
So basically, it matters. It matters to you, Jarvis. This is an important game, or one of the most important games in recent history.
Well, it matters to me because of the bragging rights and stuff like that. But if you look at it from Manchester United side, it matters a lot. It's all about the financial part. You know, it's not about us not having money. It's about us having the ability to spend money, because it gives us extra income and then we can spend more money. It's on the books. It's on the FFP.
Let me try it.
Matters. Jarvis and Sean, I want to ask you guys, right? When you guys say it matters, in what perspective? Does winning tomorrow tell us more about the team tactically? Does it tell us more about where we are in terms of the progress that we're making in our rebuild? Does it tell us anything about the character of these players? Does it tell us anything about the tactical astuteness of our manager? No, nothing. We don't get anything from it rather than just simple bragging rights, right? No.
You asked the question, don't answer it yourself.
Okay, then Sean, you said that, right? You said that this team is good enough to play in the Champions League. When I say that we don't deserve to be in the Champions League. So if you say that this team is good enough to play in the Champions League, which I agree with, we have a manager that just have us finish 16th with a team that is good enough to play in the Champions League. Don't you think that by that virtue alone, this manager does not deserve to have a chance to coach us in the Champions League next year?
Let me start with a framing disagreement that we have. I strongly disagree with this idea of deserve. When who wins a football match is the person who put the ball in the back of the net, as far as I'm concerned. Like the idea of who deserves what, if we're in the Champions League, from my perspective, we are there. And we should play and give everything that we have. 90 minutes, anything can happen. So that's there. To set the table for, Big Up Leso and Bumaye that have joined us. The conversation, I think, right now is whether or not this game is important to you as a United fan, to Manchester United, the club altogether, and how important it is. The answers that you listed, Luani, some of them I agree with, some I disagree with. I think, yes, winning this final will tell us a bit about the character of the players. It wouldn't tell us everything we need to know, but it will tell us something, right? That's something that it will tell us that despite all the adversity that the players faced, they were able to get it together for 90 minutes to overcome Tottenham. That doesn't tell us everything we need to know, but it tells us something. right? It doesn't tell us that Amorim is the best manager in the world, but it tells us that he's able to cross this threshold of performing at a competitive level, competition. It tells us something in that regard. It doesn't make everything that this season good. It doesn't wipe away the slate clean, but I think it does tell us a bit about the character of the players, the character of the coach, foundation for next season. So I don't share the general sentiment about Ineos, overall incompetence. So I actually see value in the Champions League money that we'll be getting. I see value in the prestige that comes with Champions League as a contract. I'll let Jarvis, jump in and see what he sees as well. But I'm curious to hear from the other guys, Maya and Lesso, how they feel about the final and its importance.
Yeah, big up. Man UFC says that we are at the crossroads between shit and crap. Winning tomorrow is just a small diaper over river diarrhea. Pardon my French. Big up. And that's what it is. That's how I feel. Big up. Big up. That's how I feel. Bumbaye, are you there? Lesso, are you there? Can't hear you, Bumbaye. Cannot hear a word you're saying.
Good
Hello?
evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Hey.
everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Bombay.
Big up Stu.
How are you,
Big up
brothers?
Stu in the chat. Love to Stu in the
Good,
chat.
good.
We got Stu. Let's so
Big up,
please
Stu.
be my guest, bro. You go first.
This is the most important thing. People keep
So what do I think
the
about
video.
the final?
No, what is this the way that it's been dealt? The most important game in a decade financially is this. It's the biggest game. And all this bullshit that I've been hearing all week. No, Sean, please, respectfully. This is what the game has been. Majority of Manchester United fans, 99% of Manchester United fans would want to win a game, regardless who they're playing, regardless what the competition is, right? That is a given. But we're talking about this final. The media, certain sections of the United fan base on the socials are deeming this the most important game in recent history, in our history. This will determine the club for the next decade. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Now, you might agree or disagree. That's all it is. It's just an opinion.
No, but I don't want Lesso to, sorry, Lesso, but I don't want you to argue with an imaginary fan online. I want you to talk to the United fans that are here with you.
No, this is how it's been deemed. This is how it's been deemed. So I'm putting it out there. People have seen it, and that's why I'm asking the question. Do you think this is the most important game in Manchester United history and probably the biggest game in the next decade? It's just the crossroads.
On this six-member panel, I think you have a full spectrum of United fan opinion, right?
And that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, no,
so 1 minute,
the point is that
you've answered, Sean, you've answered it. Well, let's so, and then you can come back whatever he said to his answer. So I just want to
I just don't want Leicester to be addressing a straw man, right? Because none of us on this panel have said
it's not a straw man. He can answer the question however he wants to. I'm not going to coach him through this answer, but I'm putting the question out there because that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. But go ahead, listen.
Just to make it clear, nobody on this panel has said it's the biggest game in history, right? Yeah. So go ahead, Leicester. Sorry.
No, big up to the panel, and big up to Bombaye, big up to Sean, big up to Luwani, big up to big up to Noreddin, and big up to Jarvis. Well, it is an important game for Ineos specifically because they want to specifically build from this if that's what they really want, because I'm just going from what I hear and not what I know, in the sense. But let's just say, giving them a benefit of the doubt in this scenario. Let's say we win this. Obviously, I did say that we had a huge chance of winning this competition. I remember I always reiterated this on the show, that we are built for European competition. These formations built for these competition because the players have more space, and more or less, the games are a lot less, pacey, physical, and all these other attributes that you required to be at your very high optimum to win in the as an example in the Premier League, right? So, it's. For me, it's an important game. It's not the world's my most important game. My most important game was the when we won the Champions League during the treble. That was my most important game because that's when we were about to make history. So this game is more or less it's a shoehorn for me. You know, it's I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place in a sense, because this would mean it could mean a revival. It could mean vice versa. You know, it could mean that Ineos stay here longer and the Glazers, and you know, losing it could be an embarrassment as well. So I don't want to lose any game. Honestly, losing to Spurs would be a travesty. You know, I'd switch off my phone literally
Let's so
because
say more
I know
about
how
how
many
it could be a
people.
revival. Let's so please say more about how it could be a revival
Yeah,
winning on Wednesday.
it could be a revival in the term in the sense that you know they may find a way now to build on to this. You know, in the sense where they'll have more money to spend. Obviously, financially, it's good for the club. You know, no matter however way we may see it. But you know, I still don't see a future with Ineos here and the Glazers at the same time. I still think that we're still gonna fall short somewhere. They may probably spend here and get out of the Champions League and stop spending, you know, altogether. Because in the route that we're going, we're trying to be cheap. We're trying to be clever in transfers, which I'm in agreement with. But at the same time, sometimes you need to, you know, you need the financial muscle that we need at the football club. You know, we've got a stadium to build. We've got facilities that we're already renovating. We've got a squad that we need to constantly invest in, because these clubs around us have rich owners as well. They have owners who have money and who are willing to spend just as much. That's why the Premier League is very tough, because almost every team in the top 8 is basically owned by a billionaire. So in the sense, I don't, in the long run, in the short run, yes, it may be a revival, but in the long run, we will fall short, you know, and based on our transfer policy that we may be engaging in going forward, I can see us falling short. So for me, I want these guys out, but I don't want to lose the game, because I don't want the banter, and I want to see Manchester United lift trophies. European trophies are always welcomed at Manchester United, even though this one is not my favorite. You know, I don't want to see myself back in this competition. Personally, if I see myself back here, I'm not going to watch the games. You know, it's Champions League or nothing for me in terms of Manchester United. And let's see if the Glazers can hold that, and as well as Ineos. Let's see what they can do from here and build on. But I still stand. Ineos out, Glazers out. I don't trust these guys. And yeah, you know, it's a vanity project for Jim, basically. So I'm not very excited, but I'd be happy if we win. I'd be extremely happy of this.
See, I
Okay,
don't
that's fun.
understand us as fan, you know. I don't understand us as fan. The reason for that, Manchester United is like a baby. It's like signing up my son for the Olympic 100-meter Olympic, right? And I know that even in his college, he's not his best. He's not the best sprinter in his college, and I'm trying to sign him up for the Olympic. Spare me that embarrassment. You know, we're not ready for prime time. When is the last time we ever made it past the group stage in the Champions League?
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
It's
listen. We can talk
ridiculous.
about this. Let me say something. I'm gonna have to rush in a minute. Maybe Jarvis can carry on the little bit of the conversation, but I'll just say this, people. Let's get into it. I'll go to Mumbai. Mumbai, how do Manchester United beat Spurs tomorrow in the game? Can you see us winning? Who you putting up front? Apparently, Zirkzee trained, which is a shock. The low trained, Euro trained, but the lit is out. The lit is out. So the lit is definitely out of the final. But Euro trained, Zirkzee trained, and yeah. So where do you see us beating them? Have you watched Spurs in this competition at all? Have you seen some of their games or anything?
Yeah, good evening, boys. I
Good evening.
mean, just to get it off my chest, the most important thing is what's happening in Palestine and the behavior of Donald Trump and his lapdogs in the East and the West. And You know, the way that they're addressing a genocide, that's first and foremost. I haven't watched Tottenham in this competition. For me, I'm very excited for this game all of a sudden. We're in a final of a European Cup, and this is a very, very important game for us. It's very important that we win for multiple reasons. The first reason is if Amorim loses this game, there's a lot of people that are going to call for Amorim's head because effectively this has been the really, truly the worst season ever, ever. 16th in the league, disgraceful football, relegation form, and nothing to show for it. This will smoothen that edge and will allow us as fans to swallow it with a trophy and you go into next season. Is there a chance of him being sacked? I don't think so, but a lot of United fans do think that he'll be sacked if he loses this game because effectively he's done nothing this year. Absolutely nothing. So I want to win this game. I'm excited for this game. It's 50-50 to me. People are talking as if Manchester United have already lifted the trophy. I don't quite understand that. They've beat us already 3 times. They've got just as much to play for as we have. They could effectively change their fortunes with this. This is a team that's known for winning nothing, and they're in a final now. It's just as winnable for them as it is for us. So this is very important. Being in Champions League allows you to attract players. That's another thing. Financially, we're going to get money not only for winning this, but we're going to get money to be in the Champions League. This, again, will alter the way that we behave in the transfer market because there is a bottom line involved. And you've seen that Ineos are, they penny pinching. So every penny counts now. It's 50-50 game, man. I don't know who he's going to start, what he's going to do. I'm leaving it in his hands. If we win the final, I'm going to be very, very pleased and happy, and I'm going to enjoy it. I don't mind any trophy these days because we're not exactly flying. We're not winning the big leagues, but League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, this is what's available. And when we win them, it's a good thing. It's good to win silverware. And it's good for this team to start building its legacy and moving out the shadow of the greatness of Manchester United in the past. You start to forge your own way. And to win a final also vindicates the manager to a small extent, and the players maybe will increase their belief in this method that, look, we actually got a trophy. It was an awful season, but this can work. Let's stay on board. Let's get on board. So there's lots of connotations that are positive from a victory in this, but it's just one game at the end of the day. Is Ruben Amorim going to revolutionize what I'm seeing when we start the season in 3 months? Because we've signed 5 new players. I have my doubts. But nonetheless, I'm not going to be a guy that calls for him to roll. I'm still on board, as I always am. I want to see you get your players. I want to see you have a fair crack. I want to dispel the notion that they forced you to come way before you wanted to come into a team that we have been saying doesn't have the players to execute your system. But there is a possibility your system is shit. There's a possibility that people have already figured out your system and you're not going to change it. So there's a lot to see this summer. We're going to learn about Ineos. We're going to learn about the players that come and go. And we're going to learn about the manager. You're muted, brother.
So it's a 3-3 split now.
Sean, we need to keep it moving quickly because I haven't got that much time. So how do we beat Spurs tomorrow? Where do you see us winning this game?
A miracle with a lot of prayer and basically we can win. But if you're asking me like the actual tactical player question, I think the thing we have, some things we have, Casemiro, right? If we time we're having a good game.
You're breaking up, Sean. I can't hear you. Can you hear Sean, guys?
He's breaking up quite a bit, Sean.
Sean, start again.
Is it the connection or the nerves?
Probably both, man. No worries. I'll jump back in again.
Okay. Go ahead, Luwani. Please keep your short answer short because we haven't got that much time. I left Jarvis.
Oh, how do we win? How do we win that tomorrow's game? I think it's going to depend on the approach of both managers. It's going to depend on the approach of Ange. If Ange decides he's going to stifle us with a high line and keep us in our half, or it's going to also depend on if Amorim make the right selection. I believe the game is suit us because of the pressure that's on both teams. When we have demonstrated that when the pressure is on us, we can sit back, and that's best suited to us. But when the pressure is on Tottenham, and they have to come and score goals, which they did a lot of them this year, they still can concede. They're very vulnerable at the back. So despite all the goals that they score, they're still in the position that they are for a reason. So tomorrow, if Amorim decide to defend with his usual back five, as long as he plays Ahmad in that wing back position, he play Garnacho, both of them can stretch the pitch, and then he put in Casemiro for his leadership. We should be fine to a certain extent. My question though is my question mark is on the other 10, the left side 10. If he decide to play Mason Mount, or he decide to play Ugarte in the pivot, those are going to be the big determining factor on how the game is going to go tomorrow.
Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was kind of kidding. I said plan to win tomorrow, hope and prayer. Vibe, inshallah, pray to Buddha, whoever it is that you pray to, honestly, because we need a miracle. But on the pitch, if any player would actually have an impact, my money would be on Casemiro, Bruno, or Maguire.
Experience.
Basically, experience to come through for us, because it's the same players that everybody is trying to tell me that are shit, that are going to have to do something for us tomorrow, because I know tactically we're going to spend 60% of possession between center backs. I know Garnacho is going to run into blind alleys. I know the formation is going to be exposed several times in midfield and on the back foot. So I'm not expecting much tactically or from Amorim. I'm just looking for a miracle, honestly, and for our experienced players to come through.
Well, what is the right team to start tomorrow? What is the right 11? You want to discuss that?
I mean, I'll be shocked if any of the people start, but I'll go to. Did you already answer, Luani? You already answered. Lesso.
The right team?
No. I'm just going to go to Lesso. Lesso, how do Manchester United beat Spurs tomorrow?
Yeah, I think in terms of us, I think it's gonna be about who wants it more. You know, this is a once-off game. You know, it's a one game and it's a final. So, you know, anything goes. You know, I think it's just about who's more prepared than the other person. I don't think it's gonna be as tactical as people think it's gonna be, but I think it's just gonna be about who wants it more, who's gonna take their chances when they come their way. I can see it being a cagey affair, because both teams are more or less, I think, Man United is more under pressure than Spurs are. But Spurs will try and win, but they lack they also lack in terms of experience, in terms of winning trophies. And we have that. We have players who have gone to finals before and who have won trophies. So I think that may give us a slight edge, you know, in terms of experience. We will know what to do, and how to, you know, basically manage the game whenever we need to manage it just to get through over the line. But it's going to be a very close affair, basically. But I see a moment of brilliance. I think it's going to take a moment of brilliance to win this game. I don't see, you know, the other team are playing another team completely and then putting the ball in the back of the net.
Okay, this is what they're predicting. This is the prediction. So Villario, Paro, Odesi, Van Romero, their centre backs about Bentancur, Basima, Oldebert, Son, Johnson, Solanke. United, Hoyland, Garnacho, Bruno, Casemiro, Ugarte, Yoro Maguire, Lindelof, Masraoui, and Dogu, Unana, Renette. That's what they're saying tomorrow. I think the teams are going to be different. I genuinely think that the teams are going to be different. One thing I will say about Spurs tactically, they're not as gun-ho. In the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of the Europa League, they were not gun-ho at all. They get plenty of men, even against Bodo Glimt. They got men behind the ball. At times they were defending like this, literally everybody behind the ball here, as you can see. So they're here, everybody's behind the ball, and they're counter-attacking with Johnson. He's their top goal scorer this season. He's the guy, he's the match winner. And they're going to try to hit us on the break. I think they're going to might even try to give us the ball to a certain counter-attack. Because tactically, everybody been saying about Ange that he's not versatile. He's not, he's not adapting to the players. He did. He adapted. He adapted because he wants to win this trophy. He said, in his second year, he wins a trophy. So he's going to go out for it. I don't know how fit Son is, but Johnson, Solanke, these guys, Bentancur, Bazuma, I don't think this kid is going to play. I think it's the other kid. I always forget his name, but he's going to play. But the back five is this. This is the back five, 100%. They're going to play. Solanke's going to play. Son. Yes, sir. So Bentancur, and Bazuma will play me personally. Yeah. Here, I think Ahmad might start. I don't know. But Bruno and Garnacho, I think for us to match them, we have to take Bruno into here, into this position, and match them midfield wise. If we don't, and they win the ball, they're onto our back three, and back five, and we concede goals. One thing about them is that Porro is the guy who crosses the ball. Gozi will cross the ball, but Porro is the guy who crosses the ball from here, any of these areas. He'll whip balls into the box. Here, he's up and down. He's the guy with energy. He also inverts into midfield naturally. Both him and Aduzi will invert into midfield. But tactically, in terms of off the ball, defensively, for this competition, Postecoglou 100% changed.
Did they insist on playing out from the back?
They play out sometimes from the back, but they are defensively, they get everybody behind the ball in this competition. In the quarterfinal, semi-final, they tactically changed it up. They're not interested in having the highest possession and playing tiki-taka. They've got no Kuloskowski, no Madison, and I think they're going to be running. So they're going to go with runners. I think that they might go with one of the other kids, if Son might come on, or I don't know if he's going to start, but I don't think he's going to finish the game. So they're going to go with counter, and they're going to go with runners. Bazuma's got legs, Sar's got legs. They're going to try to physically dominate us. I think that's what they're going to do. Jarvis, go ahead.
Yeah, you summed up a lot of tactically good talking points. The one with Pedro Porro, I think it's important, but for me, it's not about keeping the ball in the air. I think Maguire will keep control on Solanke, but if it goes over the central centre back, we know that Son can come on the back post, so we have to rely on Lindelof and Masraoui to follow him. And I'm not fully convinced they can do that in every aspect. So that will be a danger. So we have to stop the crosses from Pedro Porro. And I also remember when Maddison played, he also liked to drift in the midfield left pocket and triple up on Masraoui, Lindelof in that area. So it could be a danger point, but at least he's not playing. So I don't know how they will solve this. But we know Spurs, they like to press high, but they can also be pressed high. So I would like Amorim not to sit back for 60 minutes and then try to attack and do his subs. I want him to go at them from the beginning and press them high, because there are mistakes in them. Bentancur, Bissouma, Romero, they're not particularly extremely good on the ball. I think they could be pressed, and I think we can win the ball high up the pitch. And I don't think Ahmad will start on the bench when you go with this team. I think you would rather see Garnacho on the bench and coming in as an impact player, and I think that's the right choice. And I hope Amorim will do that. And I will also prefer to play Bruno in the 8, in the Ugarte role, and play Mason Mount in the 10 for me. I think it will be. I think they will score first. I think we will have the ball. We will try to press, and they will score on the counter-attack, as you said. Then we will chase the game. It will be an open-ended game, I believe, and hopefully my prediction is us to win the game 3-2.
Okay, so you're thinking it's a high-scoring game.
In for a treat.
Interesting.
Only because they will score first, and then we have to open up and go gung ho. So
Jarvis, my heart cannot take 3-2 in this final.
I think
I'm sorry.
I personally think if they score first, they win. I think whoever
Yeah,
scores first is going to win this game.
Yeah.
I really
man.
think that.
I have to agree with Nuruddin because for me the issue here is Amorim. Everything things that he's done all season long, playing with a back five, being defensive. I don't see him changing anything for this final. For the life of me, I don't understand why he doesn't play Garnacho and Ahmad both in wing back on opposite side, and then play in the 10 uh, Kobe Mino and Bruno, and then you can have the option of having a double pivot of Ugarte and Casemiro. That give you the steal, you know. But he's gonna do what he will do. His starting lineup is pretty much set. There's nothing to guess. We know who's gonna play tomorrow, and we know the approach that he's going to adopt. So I don't know. Whoever scores tomorrow first wins that game. I agree with that because we know. I don't think that if Tottenham score first, we're good enough to count to score 2 goals without them scoring more because they better at keeping the ball than we do. So
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing for me is that I really think that he can't go defensive in this game. I totally agree with you, Luani. And I think, yes, Jarvis, I totally agree with you as well, where we cannot go defensive in this game. We cannot go defensive in this game and then think, 60 minutes. Because I think we rolled our luck against Leon. We got our luck against, we played in the quarterfinal and the semi-final. In both games, we played certain aspects of the game against 10 men. We're not going to do that here. That's why when you got the extra person, you can risk more, you can do more. I personally think Johnson will hurt us on the counter-attack. And I say Lanky will hurt us on the counter-attack. Son will hurt us on the counter-attack. These players that will hurt us, will do damage and will score goals. That's what I'm afraid of. I think Kulikovsky and Maddison, they've got the players who can play kind of the clever kind of passes, maneuver, can help them control the ball. I think they might go super defensive tomorrow and might give us the ball and hit us on the counter. I think that could happen. I think they're going to defend deep. I don't think they're going to, and they can also go direct with Solanke's running. Solanke's so much better than Hoyland holding the ball up the pitch and fighting for the ball up the pitch. I think 100% what you said, Jarvis, the crosses from Porro or either side, with Johnson as well. He scored goals from that area, here. He scored goals from here, in these areas. The ball gets whipped in by Porro around here or by Udogie around here. And I think they can do some damage. But I genuinely do not think Manchester United tomorrow can play like this, sit back and then hope to change it with a subs. No, the game can be done. Manchester United have got to go for it.
No,
They've got to
then
go
you
for
said
it.
they might go defensive tomorrow.
If the manager said don't do it, I will not listen to him. I swear to God. If the manager was to say, guys, we're gonna do this, I'll be like, to get on the pitch, ignore what he said. We're going for this. We need to win this game because I'm sick of that. I was there, even though we're 3-0 up against Bilbao, and we sat back and invited pressure. Then they scored. And I was like, what the fuck? And then we didn't get going till the subs came on. And I don't want to be doing that.
You know what, bro?
Then you're saying...
Go on, bro.
Hello? Yeah, then you're saying that they might go defensive tomorrow. I disagree, Tomorrow, they have already beat us 3 times. They don't have any reason to go defensive. And you suggest that Amorim the only way we find our way out of this duel is to stack up the midfield. But we know exactly that Amorim is not going to do that. He does not play through the midfield. He believes in his point of attack coming from his wing back. So the midfield is going to be just left open. Everything is going to depend on if Postecoglou decide to play a high line, press us high, and ignore the threat of Ahmad and Garnacho. But I believe that he have everything to play that way because the last time we played Tottenham, if I remember very well, Udogie almost dog walk Garnacho through the whole game. So with Jet Spencer and Pedro Porro, they have enough defensive solidity to go one on one with our wingers. So they won't worry about that, But uh, at the end of the day, if they are wingers, if Johnson and Song can work havoc on the wing and cross the ball in, it's going to be food for their striker, Solanke. We who have proven to be very very efficient against us. So I'm very worried tomorrow if we give them the ball.
I think this game, man, is important when you look at the wide positions. Udogi and Porro are very important to Tottenham throughout the season, as shit as they've been. They've been like the second shittest team after us, but they get forward a lot. Is Dogu and Mazraoui going to be able to nullify that? Obviously, you've got Son and Johnson attacking. Udogi and Porro will be overlapping. So, you know what? Ugarte and Casemiro have to go out there. You can't be stretching the back three line. This is the thing with three sometimes. So we have to push high in order to not allow them to get that opportunity high up in our pitch. Or he's not going to take any opportunity and he's going to think, right, go ultra defensive and then maybe we can break. Could happen either way. But if Dogu and Porro do what they traditionally do for Spurs, then you've got the idea of Son and Johnson. Could be a problem. Could be a big problem. Mazraoui is not exactly good at getting high up the pitch. If you played Ahmad there, you would get a different result because Ahmad as a wing back can push really high and give Udogi something to think about. So you're basically defending high up the pitch in that way. But then Heung-min Son up against Mazraoui, you'd fancy that more than up against someone like Ahmad. It's difficult. It's horses for courses, but this game will be won from the wide areas. The midfields kind of cancel themselves out because there's nobody there. I see that's Kevin De Bruyne, Steven Gerrard, the driver. These are steady guys. They're good defensively. They can knock the ball about.
Bumbaye, but Sa
Yeah.
caused us problems since he's been there. Sa is full of legs, full of
He's
energy.
not there. He's not there.
No, he's playing. No, he's going to play tomorrow. I don't think Alderbert is going to play. I think Sa's going to play tomorrow.
I disagree with you, Bumaye, for different reasons. For me, this game will be won in moments, and the way I envision these moments are what happens to Casemiro, Ugarte, or Bruno when they are with their back to their position goal, we're under pressure from Tottenham, and they receive the ball deep in our half. I think if more of those moments they come out successfully with the ball, we'll have a good game. If Casemiro is able to find a way out of those tight positions, or Bruno out of those type positions, or Ugarte, I think we'll be okay. And then the second moment that I think are very important is what happens when either Garnacho or Mason Mount or Ahmad, whoever is in the number 10 position, when you're running down the channel, decision making, right? Do you run into a blind alley, or do you look for your teammates? I think those are the moments that are really going to determine whether or not we have a good game, because I expect us to be under pressure from Tottenham. Very fast-paced attack. So there'll be moments where we're trying to break quickly, or we're under pressure, they're pressing us, and we're trying to play out of the back. So can we successfully get the ball out of Maguire, Mazraoui, and the other centre back through the midfield and up the pitch? And if we do get the ball down the flank to Mason Mount or Garnacho or whoever plays in number 10 position, can they do something with the ball? Is what I'll be looking out for tomorrow. So yeah, midfield, I think the two number 10s and the two number 6s, I think are going to be what would either win it or lose it for us.
Sean, quickly, I'm going to stay with you. Score. And would you start Sezki over Rasmus tomorrow?
I mean, Xerxes is not fit now, right? So unless Amorim has been doing some secrets, because all of a sudden we just saw now Euro back in training, Xerxes back in training. So if they've been doing some secrets, behind the scenes training, I would love to see it. But I don't think it matters, Xerxes or Oilon. As for the scores,
it does matter. It does matter. It fundamentally matters. In the game, Manchester United can keep the ball up the pitch more. Fundamentally matters.
No, yeah,
but the score, give me the score.
There's a secret part of me that thinks Hoylund is going to score in this final. But I'll tell you what my head says and what my heart says. My head says a disgusting, frustrating 2-0 Tottenham victory. where we're just upset, right? And Tottenham beat us and all the because like if the game against Chelsea, the game against West Ham, we were toothless. Like not only were we pathetic, we were pathetic without a chance of scoring or doing anything. So this final could go away where it just looks bad and we look like we don't have a clue. So I could really see that happening. But my heart, man, my heart 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 United, I think is what I'll put it out there. 2-1 United. I think 1-1 for the most part of the game and Højlund to score the winner in the last minute. 2-1 United. Yeah.
Muted.
Let's so what's the score? And would you start Zertsky quickly?
Yeah, I think I'd go with Højlund over Zirkzee because Zirkzee hasn't played in a while, so it's only smarter to actually bring him on as a sub.
There's less on mute.
So
Or
I'd go with more or less, I think 2-1 as well. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, 2-1
Yeah.
you said. Okay, cool. Go ahead, Luani. Will you starting Zertsky tomorrow? And what do you think
No,
the
I won't
score-
start. I won't start Zeske. I haven't seen him in a few weeks now, so I'm not sure if he's even match fit. For that pressure and the intensity that at which the game is going to be played tomorrow, I don't think it will be ideal to start him. But I'll be looking to bring him on depending on how Rasmus is doing. If Rasmus is in the groove and he score a goal the first 20 minutes, of course he'll play. He'll play a little bit more, but if by the half he's still missing his first touch and falling all over the place, he's out at halftime. Xerxes comes in. The score I'm looking at is probably like 2-0 because my heart is there, even though my head is not. So we win 2-0 and Tottenham go trophyless again. So
Amen.
Hey, go ahead, Bumbaye.
Your heart is free. Have the courage to follow it. Braveheart. Freedom. Man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going with my heart, man. I just saw Bruno's name go up in lights. I had this little flash in my brain, and it's either 2-1 or 2-0. Luani gave me hope when he said 2-0. I was scared. I was just going 2-1 just to believe it, and now Luani gave me some confidence. So it's going to be either Luani's 2-0 or they might sneak a goal, but hopefully we win.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, as I said, I think we will win the game 3-2. Do you have the time for me to just bring up the tactical board for 2 seconds, Nordin? Or
Yeah,
you
if
have
you do
to...
that, I'm just going to do the super chats. Go ahead.
Okay,
Outside looking at Tottenham, look more focused. Body language reminds me of 2021 US final type of vibes. Tomorrow is going to be like a Squid Game, life or death situation, both teams. This will slightly save us, but we won't change how awful our season's been. Big up. Go ahead, Jarvis.
There's a couple of things from for tomorrow's game that I think is important that no one has talked about. And one of them is actually Lenny Yoro playing, because he's one of the few centre backs that has the ability to play out from the back. We always struggle after Martinez got injured, and Lenny Yoro is the only one who's close to filling his shoes when it comes to our ability to play out from the back, especially under pressure, because Spurs will come with high press. I would also I think it's important that we actually start with Xerxes, but not as a striker, but as a number 10. I think we need the link up, someone who will be available, who will be visible when we are under pressure, who will invite and want to receive the ball. And for me this season, this is the only play that actually has worked for us when playing out from the back. So let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Where do we go? So here. Yeah. So the play is actually we play out from the back. We know we like to zigzag play through the goalkeeper, but when Lenny Yoro receives the ball, it's about Josh Xerxes dropping down and being available for the pass. and George Xerxes can either turn with the ball, and we have the runners. We have Garnacho, we have Dorgu, we have even Dalot and Bruno who can run the diagonal runs. And I don't want to see Højlund anywhere near this team because he's useless. So for me, I've been thinking about how to actually solve the number 9 position. So I think actually Ahmad is the only one who can play it because he has the pace. He's much stronger than he looked like. Maybe he's not the best in aerial ability, but he has the timing. So when it comes to separate from the center backs, because he will be alone with 2 center backs, he needs to be able to drop down and be available and turn with the ball. So for me, I think I would like to see Lenny Yoro play to Xerxes, lay it off to either Bruno, or if Bruno is gone, lay it off to Casemiro, who then can hit the diagonals in both sides. And we know that the Spurs like to go with what's his name again? The Udogi and Pedro Porro. They like to go high with their fullbacks. So there will be space on either's flank in the defensive side. And Spurs, they rely on the pace of Van der Ven and Romero, especially Van der Ven. So I think we can challenge them with players like Dorgu, Garnacho, Dalot.
Do you believe they're going to play a high line tomorrow? Because they didn't play a high line in the semi-final or the quarter-final or the semi-final. I don't think they played a high line. I think they played more defensively, disciplined, very structured, very disciplined, smaller space. They closed the gaps. Do you think they're going to play the open way they played soon when their manager got there? And
I believe they will play with the high line. I think that's the only way they know how to play. And
okay.
I think so because
then if they play with a high line, right? How intense is going to be their press? Because we are proving that we're not good when we get pressed.
No.
Especially when we get pressed high, we're not very good.
But that's why they're going to press high. They've been watching us. We struggle when they press high, and they do press pretty good. I don't know. I've not watched Tottenham a lot, but under Ange Postecoglou, first season and a little bit at the start of the year, this team insists on playing out from the back, and they push high.
Okay. It's going to be very interesting.
Let me just finish off this thing when it comes to how I see, because we met Spurs 3 times this season, and every time Son and the other winger, now less Brendan Johnson tomorrow, has tried to pin down our wing backs, and we struggled, especially in the last game we met Spurs. I remember it was Dalot and Masraoui who was playing here, and both operated as a right fullback, because Son he kept himself placed perfectly in between them both, and they didn't communicate well. So it ended up with Son dragging Dorgu down and opened up a big pocket on the left side here for Maddison to drop into. And every time Maddison did this, they had the wing back. He's not playing this game. What's his name again? And also Udogi, who always ran in this space because Maddison opened up. So they tripled down on our side and created a lot of chances because of this. So I'm 100% sure this is Postecoglou's game plan this time too, and they will do it on the other side too. And the main game is to try to drag these 2 guys out of position. Bruno,
but Jarvis, this is the issue I have.
He's the hackman. He likes to push, and he tried to push a lot of times against Maddison out here and left Casemiro all alone because the distance between Bruno and Casemiro were too big. So this is very vital for me that Bruno and Casemiro knows how to play, and the distance maximum, I would say 10 to 15 yards, but not more.
It's going to be very interesting.
This is the issue I have. This is the issue I have, right? When you said that the Song and Johnson are pinning back our wing back, I think it's the other way. I think it's instructional. It have to be Amorim. How can you play with 3 defenders and still have the other wingers pin back your wing back? Maybe he's just telling our wing back not to stay high, because with 3 defenders we can easily cheat. So I don't know why our wing backs don't cheat often, like every other wing back in other teams that play in the back 3. I don't know why they don't stay up there. We've seen against City what Muniz and the Crystal Palace wing back did to City. It's just one ball over the top to Mateta, and it's Muniz running down the wing. Why is always our wing back are always in a defensive position and we saying that they're getting pinned? It's the coach that's giving them instruction. Release those wing back and let's bring the fight to them.
We will see that. But people, it's been a pleasure. We keep it short. We'll be back tomorrow with whatever happens in the game. I might even do a watch along. I'm not sure yet. But big up to everybody. I want to thank everybody from Jarvis. Make sure you go and check out Tactical Devils. Make sure you check out Muali Luwani 79, Bowley 77 for Jarvis on X. Make sure you check out Sean Thomas on X, and How We See Things. It's a geopolitical podcast. Make sure you check out Lesso Football TV and checking out Black Rain on X. Bombaya, you'll never see him anywhere else. But this is where we're at, people. We're here, we're live, we're direct. Big up to everybody, big up to all of you. We'll be back. This is not the most important game in Manchester United. This is not the most important game in a decade. It's just a final. We won 2 trophies, and that papered over huge cracks. We win or we lose tomorrow, for me, the skill going to be the same. Manchester United are going to finish 16th. For me, and financially, the trouble that we're in, all of a sudden, that didn't happen because of something. It didn't happen out of nowhere. It's because of the people who are there are incompetent and have zero knowledge how to run a football club. And that's what we deserve, people, because majority of us, including me, are shitbags. We're not willing to do what it needs to be done to empty the stadium and every match next season, and we're not willing to do that. So we have the owners we deserve. But I want United to win. I hope United win. Big up to all the travelling fans. Saeed's out there, and I'm going to jump on a Straight Jacket podcast now. So love and light, people. Look after each other. Peace. Good night. Good night. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Ineos out. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free the Congo, free Sudan, free the people, free the land, free everybody. Free the Manchester 10 as well. Free everybody. Stop the fucking genocide. Fuck Zionism is a death cult. Fuck the British government. Fuck the American government. Fuck all of the governments who are watching this. And fuck especially, fuck the Arab Emirates. Fuck Saudi Arabia and all of the belly dancing cowards, so-called Muslim leaders in the world watching this shit. Fuck you. This is
big up, Dino.
Take care. Love, light. Peace.